Let me stop you there for a minute and let's go back a little bit because I want to clarify a number of things. This foundation for technological development, that was sponsored by the state of Sao Paulo or by the federal government?
Eventually it was sponsored by the state because it was sponsored by the University of São Paulo. The money from the University of São Paulo comes from the state.
Okay.
But the foundation had to respond to the state and an advisory board that was had some connections with the state. I never understood exactly how that foundation was running, but was considered to be a foundation with some tax breaks and some special credits with banks and institutions.
Okay. And it sounds like the subway project was one of the big projects that was generating lots of technological development projects and
Yes.
so on. Were there any other major projects besides the subway?
Yeah, I remember a few. Yeah, each project has had a number, for example. That foundation has a nice story. It started back to 1972 or 73. Brazil tried to develop a computer in 1972. So my university developed a computer for the Navy, for the Brazilian Navy. So there were two schools competing to develop that computer. One was University of São Paulo, another was University of Campinas. And University of São Paulo developed that computer. So that was Project 001, the Brazilian computer. That was called by Ugly Duck. That was the name of the computer, Ugly Duck, because it was ugly, a lot of circuits, but it worked. And then, because we started with that Project 001 in 1972 or 73, so that foundation grew and grew, attracting more projects. And when I came there as an intern in 1982, I was in my second year of university, we had projects for railway automation, we had projects for highway controls of telephones, we have projects with subway in São Paulo and other states. We had several projects. I don't remember all the projects, but most of those projects were related to the government, most of them.
Okay. And this foundation was already in place when you entered your undergraduate degree in engineering.
That's right.
Because if I remember correctly, you entered around 1980.
Yeah, I started in 1981.
1981.
In 1982, I started my internship in that foundation.
So this foundation had been already in place for almost 10 years by the time you began engineering.
That's right.
Okay. And do you remember these projects like the Brazilian computer, the Ugly Duck, being out there in the newspapers, in the news, and maybe provoking some kind of excitement about young engineers like you about why this is why I want to be an engineer, because I want to be part of this?
Yeah, I was excited because, see, when I started my internship in 1981, we didn't have the computers that you as students have today. What you had, that were rooms, with lots of cabinets, and they are called computers. And I was excited to see that we had a technology in Brazil, or we had knowledge, at least knowledge in Brazil, that would make capable for Brazilian engineers to design an operating computer. And I have one of my professors, he was involved in this design of the Ugly Duck. And he had a book that time. It was basically digital logic design, a course that several electrical engineers take. And that book was written by this professor, Edson Freni, who was a very important person at that time. He had a big company called Scopus, S-C-O-P-U-S, Scopus. And Scopus was the main computer manufacturer in that time. So I was kind of motivated by having brilliant minds, people who were being successful, with their own companies, and working in a foundation that was developing really Brazilian technology. And a lot of students were excited